I'm told no one knows what this is. It's in a little museum in a small town I once lived in years ago, with a sign saying, "What is this thing?" I went to visit recently, and still no one knows. I figure you guys can likely solve this mystery. It doesn't look like anything related to yarn that I've known. I don't know the looks of things like knitting machines, but I doubt a knitting machine would remain a mystery so long. Any ideas? It's the rusted guts of a Mills slot machine. Source? I used to collect them. It was patented on April 4th, 1911 by Carl G. Hassman for the Mills Novelty Company of Chicago, Illinois. On the right, you have the selector plates. Next to that, the space for the wheels with fruit pictures, and on the left are all the mechanics for payout. Now go back to the museum and demand payment. What is this small metal feather kind of thing, found outside in the UK? It can't be more than a couple of grams. My guess is it could be a cocktail or an olive stick for picking up small bits of food at parties or out of jars, or for cheese and pineapple. I've seen the magic here before, so I'm hoping I get to see it again. It's a very rare mid-century silver toothpick, made in Italy in the 1950s to 60s. It came from a set, and they were tail feathers from a swan. I have no idea why this item in particular lives rent-free in my head, but I'm glad it was useful for someone. This is a picture of my grandmother from around 1956. What is the black item on the desk in front of her? She has dementia and cannot remember. I visited her a few days ago for her birthday, and her and I both enjoyed looking at her old photos. I think everyone was surprised how much she remembered from the photos. Any ideas? That's a dial telephone with a shoulder bracket. The bracket would hold the heavy handset on your shoulder to free your hands while using the phone. Here's Lily Tomlin in 9 to 5 using one. The rounded part that went over your shoulder had some kind of rubber or Velcro-like material that kept it from slipping down. This way, you had both hands free to use while still being able to answer the phone. What is this? Some kind of kitchen implement found while cleaning my late great-aunt's flat. We live in Eastern Europe. The handle is regular sized, the body is made of metal, and the spike is hollow. I think it's too long and sharp to be a lemon juicer, and no collection tray. And if it were for storing hoop-shaped stuff, it wouldn't have a handle. Does anyone know what it's supposed to be used for? It's a hot dog bun heater from the 70s to the 80s. You stab the bun with it, then put it on the stovetop to toast the inside before putting the hot dog in it. The hole is a little bigger than the hot dog. You put the toppings in the bun, then pop in the hot dog. It's gonna be less messy. My brother bought this from an antique shop near London. They did not know what it was or for at the shop. It's about 17 inches long, and the metal egg-shaped ball at the end is solid and quite heavy. The metal ball also unscrews as if the ends are interchangeable. Many thanks. It's a Victorian egg iron, used for ironing curved or shaped parts of clothing, particularly in millinery, or for detailed areas like sleeves, collars, or gloves that couldn't simply be laid flat and gone over with a flat iron. They were usually heated on a stove or hearth before use, much like other non-electric irons of the time. What is this hefty brass vessel riveted to a thin metal arm with a wooden handle, acquired at an antique shop? The cylindrical cup is heavy solid metal, and the metal arm and wooden handle riveted to it seem a bit light or weak compared to the main piece. It is embossed with letters, C.J. Tagliabue Manufacturing Company, New York. I tried internet searches with no luck. Does anyone have any knowledge on this tool? It's part of a petroleum flashpoint tester, a copper ladle for holding the liquid petroleum. But you seem to be missing the compression chamber, which locks into the pot. It was made by C.J. Tagliabue Manufacturing Company from 1913 to 1920. It was used to determine the flashpoint of petroleum products and other flammable liquids. The flashpoint is the lowest temperature at which the vapor of a liquid can momentarily ignite, in the presence of an ignition source. This property is critical for assessing the flammability and safety of fuels, oils, solvents, and similar materials. A sample of the petroleum product is placed in this cup and heated gradually at a controlled rate. The temperature at which a brief flash of flame appears over the surface is recorded as the flashpoint. What is this long pole with a corkscrew-type end? It was in a museum in Montenegro with some very old guns, so I assume it's an old weapon, but it could easily be farm equipment or something else. I'd love to find out what this is. It's been bugging me since I saw it. It looks like it could be some sort of nasty spear, but I'm not sure of the practicality of this, as you wouldn't easily be able to thrust it into an opponent in battle. So I'm wondering if it could be a tool of some sort. It was on a pole of maybe 5 feet in length. I have tried searching online, but all results are for pole arms or pole axes, none of which I found with a corkscrew-like end. Does anyone know if this was designed to be anything in particular? It's called a worm, a device used to remove unspent powder bag remnants from a cannon or other piece of muzzle-loading field artillery. It usually took the form of a double or triple corkscrew-shaped piece of iron on the end of a long pole that could be twisted down the barrel to pick up any debris left over from the previous firing of the weapon, or used to extract a misfired charge. It was usually turned twice before being pulled out. What is this thing I found at an estate sale today in Denver? It seems like aluminum, and it had these 3 circles that you could press down with your fingers. I have no clue what it was. I wasn't going to purchase it, so I couldn't take the price tag off. I'm just wondering if anyone has a clue. It's an old school token holder from the Denver Tramway Corporation, which operated in Denver, Colorado from 1886 until 1971. You can load the tokens by pressing down and then sliding them into the slots on the side. They come out by using your finger or thumb to slide them back out of those slots. What is this tool I found at the bottom of an old chest? It looks to be made of copper and brass, and the circular disc slides up and down, making the prongs close. Approximately 7 inches tall, and stamped 72 underneath. I thought it would be a fruit picker, but I've been trying it out on some grapefruits and limes. It works okay, but it seems a bit like a hassle. I also thought it would make sense if something was hot and circular, but it's too small for plates, however. Any ideas? Please tell us down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.